Hey guys, welcome back to another video here today. Today we have Season 4 of Houston Texans Rebuild. If you guys are new here, my name is Green Machine Sam. This is my channel. I do Madden content, I do NBA 2K content, I do a whole ton of content. It varies just between the games I'm playing that week or the games I just decide to play in general. This is Season 4 of Houston Texans Rebuild. If you guys need a playlist, it should be down in the description. The descriptions are new, the tags are new, the outro is new. A lot of stuff is being changed on the channel for hopefully for the better. I appreciate the support, guys. We are over 70 subs as of right now. Probably going to be above 80 by the end of this week, which is insane, especially since we barely even had 20 before I started the channel back up again. The team looks good. It really comes down to development this year. If we can't get somebody developed this year, I don't think we can develop it all. I don't think we could really make a good push next year. We'd have to overhaul the team, trade as much assets as we could, just to get somebody in the building that could lead us to victory. I think everywhere besides the linebacker and the safeties are good. The defensive line has a bunch of talent. We have Hartwell, we have Johnson, we have Calhoun, we have Thomas, we have J.J. Watt. We have Treader who could slip down, DeAndre Walker, Tyus Bowser, Jonathan Kennard. We have all these guys that can slip down and play that defensive line if we absolutely need to. So, like I said, linebacker and safety. And then the O-line needs to develop a little bit. But other than that, I think we're a very, very good team. I think we can make a deep playoff push this year. Uh, just showing off the rest of the roster. Lutz and Gillikin are our kickers again. Kamara, Irwin, Snell. Snell and Irwin are just going to be trading spots depending on what we need, whether it's a receiving back or a power back in certain situations. Isabella is going to play that second slot position behind Hardman, and then it'll be Gabriel Davis, Don Holloway, and Deshaun Elliott for our slot corners. Khalil Mack, Treader, and Watt as our rush ends, and then Watt, Hartwell, and Johnson as our rush D tackles, and then Thomas, Young, and Walker on the other side of the edge rushers. Dillard, Lockley, and Street's going to be our middle linebackers. Like I said, good team. Just kind of, develop. We are trading James Daniels. We did this beforehand, and a 3 and a 4 of this year for a 1 and a 2 of next year. These are future assets. Hopefully they can develop. Well, hopefully they can be better if the Giants start losing. Didn't realize James Daniels was on a 1 year deal, and I didn't think I'd be able to have the money to bring him back. And at the end of the season, I'm pretty sure I didn't. We did end up signing Derek Oliver back onto a 7 year deal, 300 worth 550K per year, as well as I think this is David Benjamin for 550K a year technically. They do for some reason backload the contract, which I don't like. I'd rather front load them, kind of like in 2K. Like if I ever do a rebuild, I like front loading contracts because in the back end I can slowly get more pieces once that team is like in a stage of contending. At the midseason mark, we are 3 and 4 once again, so not off to a great start. Really, really not. Uh, Something needs to change. We need to turn the season around once again. But overall, we're still in the running. If the Titans lose this game that we're going to play them, and if the other two teams lose their games, we're in first place. We're in first place at 4 and 3. The other guys are at 3 and 5 and 3 and 4. So the O-line is actually developing. Will Douglas has definitely taken the next step, moving back to guard. Canty is looking good. Hamilton's looking amazing. The wide receivers are slowly looking a little bit better. The running backs, it's not really turning out that well. Dillard and Locklear are playing well together. Simmons is finally taking that next step as well. I think it's just because there's not very many weak spots left on this team, which means they have to try to force it near Simmons and whoever that corner is on that side. And then they're going to have to try to run the ball and make Lockley and Dillard make tackles, step up and play against those O-linemen. And I think we're winning those matchups as of right now. But I just don't understand why we are 3 and 4. Laremy Tunsil is our big free agent. Jonathan Grenard and Matthew Pert. I just didn't feel like trading away. I felt like I could keep him on the team. Hopefully, if we made a Super Bowl push, they would be here for that. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. As we're only at the midseason mark, I didn't, like I said, didn't feel like trading them. We do end up signing Laremy Tunsil to a 3-year contract extension. Jonathan Grenard just didn't develop fast enough. And Matthew Pert was always the backup O-lineman. Maybe if he started in New York, he could have been a starter. And then with this, Khalil Mack spoke to J.J. Watt, and J.J. Watt said that he will probably be retiring after this year. So I went ahead and used some of the Coach XP, used it on that defensive line retirement trait. Hopefully he will be back for next season. We did end up going 10-6 as well as the Titans, 8-8 for the Jaguars, 6-10 for the Colts. So like I said, the Jaguars are 2 wins away. The Colts, if they just win some of their division games, they're right there with us. They're right there with us. We could have all went 8-8. So the team looking nice. Some of the guys have morale boost, including Watson, Kamara, and Hardman. The O-line, all in the green now. The tackles are great. The guards and centers, they're playing well together. Nick Boyle looking decent as a backup. Jalen Samuels, I don't know if I signed him this year or last year to a 7-year deal in free agency or whatever. Lockley, Dillard, Streets looking decent as ever. This team is just looking good. I gotta stop saying they look good, but let's take a look at the stats. 4,200 yards, 34 touchdowns, 9 picks for Deshaun Watson, 64 completion percentage. So basically about the same as last year. Kamara takes that next step. He gets about 200 yards more, 5.0 yard per average, 12 touchdowns. Irwin with 338 yards, 4 touchdowns. Split Benny Snell with 131 yards, 3.3 yards average, and 8 touchdowns. Our backup running back needs to do something. They need to be over that 4-yard mark. Yes, technically, if you're at 3.3, you will be at 9.9 yards after third down, which means you're literally like a couple inches away from a first down. You can QB sneak each time and get it, or you can hand it off and get that next 3.3 yards. Hardman, another good year, almost 12,050 yards, 14 touchdowns. Irv Smith with just over 800 yards, Steven Sims with over 770, and John Ross with 676. So, not bad. When the QB plays well and the wide receivers and the running back plays well, we can win games, and we did. We went 10-6. Tackles for loss, Khalil Mack, Hartwell, J.J. Watt, and Paul Thomas, and even Chase Young with double-digit tackles for loss. So that front five was really playing outstanding. They were. Khalil Mack with 12.5 sacks, Chase Young with 9, J.J. Watt with 8.5, Hartwell with 5, Lockley with 4, Paul Thomas with 3, Dillard with 1, and 1 for Michael Johnson. And then half sacks for a couple other guys, including Dunn and Holloway. 4 interceptions for the 2 corners as well, and then multiple picks for others as well. Ward had 2, Simmons I think had 1, Reid had 1. So 3 forced fumbles, 1 recovery for Michael Johnson, so he got his own recovery. 1 blocked kicked from Dominic Lockley. No safeties. No, 1 touchdown Holloway. Will Lutz went 60 for 60, and then went 14 of 15, 93% from field goal range. Great. That's great. Like when your kicker does that, you can't lose games. Like you can't lose many games when he goes 60 for 60. He put up 60 points by himself. And what did he go? 14 of 15, I think. So he added another 36, 39, 42 points. So he had 102 points, I think, by himself. We did end up getting 6th in Coach of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Deshaun Watson at 6, AFC Defensive Player of the Year, Khalil Mack at 5, AFC Rookie of the Year. I don't think we had any rookies on offense. AFC Defensive Player of the Year, Lockley, Johnson at 8. Nobody else for us. Let's get into this next playoff game. So we are taking on the Tennessee Titans. I don't know why I was saying the Houston Texans. We make it 7-3. They bounce back. Nope. 10-3. Still us. Very slow game. Very, very slow game. I didn't know you could push circle and make it just skip that, and I didn't have to scroll down and push skip to next. So we do end up making it 24-10 here late in the fourth quarter. 31-10. This is a blowout. 31-17. If they can get it close, we should probably hop in. 31-17 is our final score. We do end up taking down the Tennessee Titans, our division rival. Now it's just 2 more games. 2 more games until Super Bowl, and Khalil Mack's reminding me, and we're probably going to get stomped in this next game. We are taking on the New York Jets next. We do end up finding Andy Isabella. Hand off Kamara. He's going to jump over guy, make one guy miss, cut back, and there's going to be a linebacker there waiting. 21-21 in the fourth. We're going to try to kick this field goal, and for some reason, I just apparently didn't push it over enough, and we fucking shank it off the upright. Cool. Call me Cody Parkey. In overtime, 21-21, we are driving down the field trying to find somebody, we're giving it to Kamara across the middle there. Good pickup. 4th and 1, I want this first down. They called a timeout. We were going to get that up close and personal thing. I didn't think we were going to make it. They get the ball, and they do not do anything with it. They punt it back to us, and I'm going to take over once again. Trying to find somebody. I have Square going to hit him on the sideline, and it's going to be Steven Sims on that sideline. He's going to make that toe drag swag type of catch, and it's going to be inside of Jets territory. We're going to go for this field goal on 4th and 3. I shanked it, and the Jets would later go down and score on a game-winning field goal with 2 seconds left. If they would have missed, we would have went to double overtime, and that would have been nice. Kamara, second halfback on the AFC Pro Bowl. Hardman, third wide receiver. We got, I think it was Zach Martin, our right tackle, number 1 on the AFC Pro Bowl list. Hartwell, defensive tackle, number 3. Khalil Mack, linebacker, number 2. Left outside linebacker, number 2. And Simmons, number 1 free safety. Will Lutz, number 1 kicker. And after that showing, I wouldn't have shown up to the Pro Bowl. I know it's my fault, but I want to have. Let's say if I was a real life player, if I just missed 2 game-winning field goals in the same game, I would have left. I would have been like, no, I'm not going to the Pro Bowl. I'm going to get made fun of. No thanks. So, team's looking nice. Hopefully J.J. Watt doesn't retire. Hopefully comes back for one more season. I think we can win a Super Bowl next year. Linebacker, free safety might be our 2 biggest worries. Even though Simmons didn't make the Pro Bowl, I think that is one of our worries. Maybe even another defensive lineman. Maybe a superstar corner would be nice. Because I just don't think Dunn and Holloway are those type of guys. Shaq Thompson, J.K. Dobbins, T. Higgins, Fournette, Duvernay, and Chason are some of our guys that we are going after. Shaq Thompson would play that middle linebacker role. And then as in terms of 5th-year options, we do pick up Dunn's. It's an easy one. And then Holloway, we are taking his as well. 2 guys that you have to keep around. They're good corners. You have to keep around your good corners, and that's what we're going to do. Even though we won't play that far, more than likely, just in terms of cap reasons, because we'll have a lot of guys coming off, and we will have a lot of guys, retiring, leaving, and I just don't think we can bring them all back, and I just don't think, it's worth it after 5 years, especially since these are called 5-year fantasy rebuilds. There's no point to go to 6 seasons. If I do go to 6, I'll probably go to 10 just to make it a little bit more interesting. J.K. Dobbins, T. Higgins, and Jalen Samuels are guys that we get back. Jalen Samuels was costing me like 1.5 a year. I don't know why, because I think I signed him to my own type of contract, and so we cut him and then signed him back. Thompson went to the Lions? I don't know. It doesn't matter. They went to teams that I am not a part of, and that I wish they would have. Because if they would have came to the team that I am coaching, then we could have won a Super Bowl. Hopefully in the next year or 2. Well, in the next year, because this is season 4, and after season 4, if you don't make the Super Bowl, you automatically go to 5th year. If you make the Super Bowl in season 4, or even win the Super Bowl in season 4, it's up to you. Irwin, Snell, and a first-round pick, number 10, go get me number 11 of this year's class. We do have some guys that I want to take. Anthony Davis, not the power forward in the NBA, but the right end out of Miami, 6'5", 305 pounds, 21 years old, run stopper. Like I said, out of Miami, number 9 in the class. We took him at number 8. He's a 76 with hidden development. This guy would have been awesome if we would have could have gotten him 2 years ago. Next guy we are going to take is Alexander Stanley. I think he's the best middle linebacker in the class easily. He's a mid-first round guy, which is kind of shitty. We do take him at number 11. He's number 16 in the class. I think he's good value for us. It'll give us a good run stopper. Jonathan Sinclair, Randy Wells, and Edward Macklin are my 3 guys left. We're going to take Jonathan Sinclair as a power rusher. Hopefully he could have a development trait, and he does not. Of course he doesn't. Number 27 in the class, took him at number 23, so technically reached. No offense. Can't reach on a guy that fits your scheme and plays well, and it is a good backup. Randy Wells, 78, center. This is the now best guy that we've ever drafted. Randy Wells, number 3 in the class, took him at number 25. I don't know, but Hamilton was a better value for the pick that we did take him at, because he was almost 2 rounds. No, he was almost 3 rounds. Yeah, 3 rounds, I think. Edward Macklin here in round number 2, pick number 25. We are going to take him. He's a mid-first round talent corner, late 3rd round projected. 73 overall, normal, number 17 in the class, took him at number 57. So it's only 2 guys that we didn't reach on, apparently. So 5th, 6th, and 7th gets me a 3 of next year. If I need it to trade for somebody, we can use it. If not, it's just going to sit there. So overall, if this draft class would have been probably year 2, this would have been my best draft class, I think. Because Anthony Davis would have had great time to develop. Stanley would have had great time to develop. Sinclair was a power rusher to begin with, so he would have actually fit the scheme and hopefully developed a lot quicker than a lot of the other guys. Randy Wells is the best player we've drafted so far, so it would have easily been the best draft class. We do end up taking a look at some of the guys. Alex Shields was actually the running back I was looking at taking because I didn't know if I wanted one, but I did not know if he was a good enough receiving back, so I did not take him. Randy Wells was number 2. Brian Harris, who we had a chance at, and I just didn't want because we already have enough defensive tackles, even though I did take Anthony Davis. Yeah. So this was definitely a cornerback and a defensive line draft, to say the least. TJ Claiborne was a corner I wanted. DeJuan Beal was another corner I wanted. Didn't know how I was going to play them, but, you know, you develop a team around the personnel you have and not find guys that can fit in your personnel. Because it's kind of like that age-old saying of, do you take your need or do you take the best player available? Just depends on your need and just depends on your, and who's the best available. But more than likely, you should take best available. So, and sometimes you can't take best available. So, just really is a weird situation that you have to put yourself in. Anthony Davis, number 90, out of Miami. He's 6'5". He looks like a beast. Too bad we don't have time to develop him. We only have 1 season. So, it sucks. It sucks being a rookie, being drafted in the 4th year. Probably should have just taken all these picks and traded them away. Alexander Stanley, number 55, middle linebacker, out of Bama. Bama normally produces decent linebackers at best. At worst, I should say. Because even if you look back, probably over the last 5 or 6 years, they haven't really produced a bad linebacker. Even if they are not great, they're normally good athletes that can play on your special teams, if anything. So, Sinclair, number 56, out of Louisville. He would have been another nice player if we could have gotten him earlier. Randy Wells will move to left guard and probably jump up to about 79 overall. He's going to be taking Will Douglas' spot, especially since Will Douglas will be coming off contract after this year. So, just didn't need him. Edward McLean, he's going to be wearing number 81. I like doing this every now and then, making a corner wear a weird number like 81 or 87 or, just a different number. Or like 11. So Will Douglas gets moved to left tackle for the Cardinals. P.J. Hall and Lockley, our old middle linebacker, he was only in the league for a year. Traded for Christian Kirk of the Cardinals. Want another wide receiver that's above an 85 that can hopefully come in and produce a little bit more for Deshaun Watson. Wiley, our left tackle, and Gabriel Davis for Fletcher Cox. It's an easy trade. It's an easy trade. Brock Rechsteiner, a 4th and a 5th for Kyle Juszczyk. Just another upgrade. We're going to upgrade as much as possible, and we'll be back for Season 5. But if you guys like this content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, turn on post notifications. Remember, it's easier to subscribe and unsubscribe later than it is to continue to find my channel. 3 first rounds for Stephon Gilmore. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.